Hi, my name is Ashley Carter, and this video is to demonstrate my use of a Smartboard and incorporating it into a lesson. My unit was a third grade math unit, and we are focusing on rounding to the nearest hundred. In my unit plan, actually this is lesson 4, and it is rounding to the nearest hundred. Now, to incorporate this into a lesson, I just briefly constructed 2 slides, and one of them is actually has a video by Math Coach Interactive, which will give about 3 minutes and 20 seconds of instruction. So if I want to go to full screen mode, what I can do is come up here and hit this, and then this is just something that I can use as my guide to move around. I can move it out of the way so the children are not distracted. This is my main slide just to kind of get the kids interested. Of course, I use bright colors and a couple of pictures. You get oohs and ahs. And then, as you can see, I've pasted a link to the video that we're going to be using for instruction. Now, in order to do that, what I did was I went over to YouTube. I found the link. I went down and I copied and pasted the link. And then I went back over to my lesson. And I went to insert, and then Control V, and that's my link. However, it's already on the board. So I'll go ahead and begin, and we'll get back. Oh, and also, if I don't want the students to see the main board right when they walk into the classroom, I can actually put a screen up, and then we can go back in full screen mode. And now I'm ready to begin. So I can say, okay students, today we're going to be rounding to the nearest, let's see, yesterday we did nearest tens. What do you think today will be? Rounding to the nearest, and then we can go all the way down with the hundreds. I can do a brief introduction to the Math Coach Interactive video, and then we can get started. We can just double click here, go into full screen, and here we have the video. And what this video does is explain
Math
rounding.
Coach presents rounding to the nearest hundred
On a number line.
We use rounding when we want to estimate.
To pause, I can pause to give brief instruction. If I need to move forward on a place in the video and then play
Our number
later.
is a useful benchmark. And the midpoint is the number that is halfway between.
And there we have it. So let's see. Exit out of full screen mode. We can go back to our presentation. And then when we're ready to go on to the next slide, we don't remove the image, but we're ready to go on to the next slide. Sorry. We can move over. Then we can use a number line to round each number to the underlined digit. And so what I have here, and I'll just briefly move this out of the way. What I have here is, let's say we want to do an activity where the students round the number 153 to the nearest place value that is underlined. And so obviously we have the nearest tens value. So we have our benchmarks labeled 150 and 160. And I can individually have students come up and they can label the number line. They can move the correct number where it should be. Individually, students can come up and take turns. And of course, when it comes time to round, we are rounding number 153. I can say, okay, on the number line, based on what we see, 153 is, 1, 2, 3 places away from this benchmark, whereas it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places away from this benchmark. So I can invite students to come up and try to touch the button with the correct answer. So if we're rounding 153 to the nearest 10, obviously 154 is not the correct answer. Let's see. No, 151 is not the correct answer either. 150 is the correct answer. briefly, this is how I could use a Smartboard in a rounding lesson, especially lesson 4 of my unit. Thank you.